I can ponder the horrificness of the Spanish colonialism in South America, but I try not to think about it because Cortez is not in the movie long enough for me to give a shit. Welcome, all you conquistadors and Muisca. It's time for another episode of Cozy Quilt Cinema. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Beth, recently mistaken for a deity by an entire civilization, and for the moment, choosing not to correct anyone. Every week, Michelle and I curl up on the couch and watch a movie and just talk it out. How it makes us laugh or cry, or sit on the edge of our seats, even lean into a loved one. So grab your abuela's Afghan and get into the blanket for it. Let's talk about it.
So this week we are doing the 2000, our first animated movie, The Road to El Dorado.
Yeah, this is one of your favorites.
Oh, yes.
Because it's quite gay.
It's so gay, but it's got also...
in all the best ways.
It's the most not child, it's such an adult movie, even though it's not like...
I mean, it doesn't hit on the surface of heavy metal.
No, or Felix the Cat. It's not those levels of adult, movies. But
it's a lot like Roger Rabbit in the way that sexual innuendo is there.
It is there, and the jokes definitely are there for the adults watching it, and it's not just for the kiddos.
So do you want to give the synopsis?
I didn't plan on it, but I can do that. No problem. I got this.
Okay.
Improvised. Wahahaha. Miguel and Tulio are best friends, but they're con artists, and they are running for their lives because they have been caught out on cheating, and they end up on Cortez's boat. This is like 1500s or so, and they end up getting caught as what is that word called when you
stowaway?
Yeah, that's the word, stowaways. And they try to escape, and they end up stealing Cortez's horse, and they almost die in the ocean. My favorite line is in that scene, which we could talk about later, and then they end up on an island. And all of this because of a map that Tulio wanted, and Miguel was like, dude, we don't need this. We got the gold. And I think I just switched their names. Yes, it was Miguel who was saying, who wanted the map, and it was Tulio who was like, dude, we got the gold. Why just let it happen? They end up on the island, and then they realize this is the island on the map. I don't think it's an island. It looks like an island, but it's probably just South America. It is, because it's Colombia.
Not an island.
It's Colombia. And so they go searching for El Dorado, which they find, and are mistaken as gods, and then hijinks ensue.
Believe it or not, that is almost exactly the synopsis I wrote. I mean, to the pauses and the ums.
Yep, there you go.
That is almost exact.
Exactly. I was reading it over your shoulder.
That would be a trick.
Because, I can't really see that far, even with my glasses on.
So this is something we've both seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk about this real quick. How did this movie make you feel the first time you saw it?
So I remember, I'm pretty sure I saw this on HBO. 2000, I had little kids with me, so we weren't going to many movies. And I think my kids did not really care about seeing it at the time. And we got it on, I think it was on HBO or something along those lines. And I remember seeing the ads for it, and I am a huge Elton John fan. And knowing that Elton did the music for it, it didn't really dawn on me who was in the movie doing the voices, but they would show these clips, and I was just like, oh, I got to see this movie. And then I saw it, and I was like, holy crap, this is not really 100% for kids. There are funny ass jokes in this movie. And I fell in love, and this movie has its issues, but it has been one of my go-to comfort movies because it's entertaining, and I don't have to think about the real world while I can ponder the horrificness of the Spanish, colonialism in South America, but I try not to think about it because Cortez is not in the movie long enough for me to give a shit. Because I'm looking at the story itself.
So How
Yeah.
did it make you feel?
It made me feel happiness because it's a very happy movie. Like, it's got its sad moments, but it's a silly, happy romp in history.
That's fair.
Into history with some amazing actors.
Okay. The way it made me feel, because I watched it with you, because that's the only way I was going to see this.
I know you didn't want to the first time.
I really didn't. Not because I don't like animated things. I like animated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I don't know. For whatever reason, the first time I saw like the previews for it a long time ago, it wasn't something I really cared about.
Yeah.
But if you've ever seen the meme between Miguel and Tulio saying both, then it's one of those things that kind of
is good.
that kind of sticks in your head. And the way it made me feel was ambivalent, largely ambivalent, but also kind of, I don't know, happy that there were two men who were not toxically masculine.
Oh, definitely.
Or at least the representations thereof. And really the antagonist is, both antagonists really, are toxic men. They have toxic
in different ways, yes.
Right, very much so. And so that's the one aspect I really liked about it when I first saw it. So let's get into the director and the writers. So the directors, there were two, is Bibo.
Yep, Bibo Bergeron.
Bergeron. Okay. Who did Shark Tale.
I love Shark Tale.
A Monster in Paris. And Despicable Me. And then Don Paul, who did Ants.
Yep. And Aladdin and Robots.
Yeah, and The Prince of Egypt.
Which I do love The Prince of Egypt. It is an amazing, the animation, the storytelling, the voices. It's just, great.
Then you have the writers. Those are, I think they're a team, Ted Elliott and Terry Rossio. Yeah, Rossio. They did Aladdin, Shrek, and Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Okay. So Jeffrey Katzenberg is listed in some places as one of the directors as well. In other places he is not. And he is also involved in Shrek.
Okay.
And, you mentioned Aladdin and Robots, and that was with Don Paul. So, they tend to be in the same circles.
Well, I think all of these people are probably just friends.
Probably. I mean, director of animation. It can't be easy.
And it's a very closed circle, I'm sure, in many cases. So this movie centers around the entire idea of colonialism. In this case, Spanish colonialism.
Yes.
And we even start out in Spain in 1517.
Yep.
Can't believe I remembered that number.
Yeah, I remember 1500s, but I couldn't remember the 17 part.
Yeah, it's in 1517. I didn't even write that down. It's just stuck in my head because I see the animation now.
Yep.
Like the numbers, at least. And this is a point where there was a lot of conquest happening, very bloody conquest. And it was not a good thing. It was very bad for not only the people being taken over, but the people at home who grew poorer as everyone else grew richer.
Yes. Why we have two street urchin / con men with loaded dice trying to get gold.
Right. Tulio and Miguel are they're two different kinds of rogues. So Miguel is more of the adventurer. And Tulio is more of the riches.
Yes.
He wants the results of that adventure, not the adventure itself. And Miguel wants the adventure, not the riches necessarily.
So now Tulio is voiced by Kevin Kline, our love, and one of our many, many patron saints of our show. Because this will be, our third Kevin Kline? Fourth Kevin Kline movie.
Fourth. He was in and Out.
Dave.
And then what else did we do with him?
We did something else with Kevin Kline.
Oh my God, we're going to be in so much trouble.
No.
I'm gonna get people commenting.
Kevin Kline is going to come to our house.
He also did A Fish Called Wanda, which we haven't done. We're saving it for a good time.
And he's the voice of Mr. Calvin Fishoder.
True. He did Sophie's Choice, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's been in a lot of things.
Oh gosh, honey. Wild Wild West.
There you go. Thank you. I knew it was there somewhere.
Because we're trying to block that one from our memories.
But every time I think Wild Wild West, it gets taken over by a giant fucking mechanical spider. So, yeah. And Miguel is played by
Kenneth Branagh.
Right. Who did Henry V, or Henry V if you're nasty, Dunkirk, and Belfast. He's into the one-word things, really, for the most part. And what do you have?
So I was trying to just get at least one animated thing for each of the actors. And so he played the character Fowler in Blue-Eyed Samurai. He was the voice of Fowler in Blue-Eyed Samurai.
There you go. Chell is Rosie Perez.
Okay, so I got to clear some air here.
Oh, no.
For years, I have had issues with Rosie Perez because I could never understand how somebody who talked very inarticulate could become so famous. And I didn't know or realize she had a speech impediment as a child, and this is years and years of her recuperating. I would just get on my high horse and be like, I can't stand her voice. Nah. I jumped on that bad
because of the elocution?
I have a thing about enunciation. It's what I do. I teach enunciation. When I have a student who's saying, I want a knack. No, you want a snack. Snack. You know, I'm always like trying to get them to say the letters. So when you got somebody talking, I have a hard time with her in some of her movies, don't get me wrong. But those are character choices. But it is sometimes her voice is hard for me to handle. But I don't want it to be, I want to acknowledge it. Yes, I know she had a speech impediment. And that is why she has that problem. I still don't have to like it, but now I can at least say, well, it's not just, her being obnoxious or untalented. It's a thing. But she played Petra, the ambition gremlin in Big Mouth.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. She was also in Do the Right Thing, White Men Can't Jump, and Fearless.
She was also one of Jennifer... oh my God, I forgot her name. Jennifer Lopez. Oh my God, I forgot Lopez.
So let's get into the meat of this movie. We have a lot of colonialism.
Yes, we do.
We have this foreign land in which white men show up and become gods. Very problematic for me.
I must say that it is a very diverse cast.
It is.
In a weird way. So, we have our two European gentlemen. We got Kevin Kline and Kenneth Branagh. Rosie Perez is Puerto Rican. We have Armando Sante, who's Italian, and he's the voice of Sekal Khan. Could not find an animation for him, but I did say Gotti.
He's in Mambo Kings and Judge Dredd as well, so.
We have Edward James Olmos, who is Mexican-American. We have...
Who was Battlestar Galactica. That's where you got to know him.
And weirdly enough, Jim Cummings, the voice of Tigger in Winnie the Pooh, is the voice of Cortez.
I thought that sounded familiar. Well, let's get into the actual movie. Yes. And not just name a bunch
of people. No. I thought that was funny. Just kind of get that. But it could be more. It could have been more diverse, but yes.
The main thing in this movie is not the colonialism, despite the fact that it is a large part of it.
It's a friendship. Really, it is.
It is a friendship between not just Tulio and Miguel, but between the people they meet. And even a horse.
They are so lovely. The people in El Dorado, other than Sekal Khan, are so lovely.
Yeah, I think that it's weird the way someone can forgive someone for
pretending to be a god,
pretending to be their god, and also taking all their gold. In fact, just giving it to them.
Well, I think the chief knew, he could tell, the chief is a hard one to read because he is very, wishy-washy at times. He's letting Sekal Khan just kind of, stomp on him to a certain degree. But then he's very accommodating to Miguel and Tulio as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like he knows what's going on.
Well, yeah, I think eventually they figure it out.
Well, yeah, but I think he knows earlier than he lets on.
Probably. That is probably true.
Much like Chell.
But when they show up, it is because they got off the ship that they had accidentally stowed away on.
Yes.
And they were found out.
Yes.
And they take this dinghy and they escape, but in the doing, they also take the warhorse.
Yes.
Does he have a name?
He does have a name, and I thought I wrote it down, but I did not because I didn't want to go with that many actors in.
Well, I don't know that it has a voice actor to it.
It does. It does actually. Yes.
Oh my God! The seagull has a voice actor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is so messed up for so many reasons, but I don't know.
It's with an A.
I have the acolyte. Alvito?
Yeah, I think it is. It's
That's Frank Welker.
Yeah, I believe that's it. Alvito is the horse.
Okay. I guess did Scooby-Doo. Weird. So the horse has a voice actor. I did not expect that.
And my favorite line is when right before they hit land and they've run out of food because of incidences. And they're
They're definitely down one apple.
Oh God, they are. Well, they had stolen a bunch of supplies, but the horse ate most of them.
Right.
And because they weren't planning on taking the horse with them, but things happened. And
and it is Cortez's war horse.
It is.
So.
And he put him on half rations. Poor horse.
Right. He had to slim down.
Oh my gosh.
He was never going to fit in that dress.
I know. But Miguel says to Tulio, "Is this how you pictured your death?" And Tulio goes, "Well, the horse is a surprise."
Exactly.
And that always gets me every time.
But they're following this map that they found that they got from
some other street
guys
that they
rolling dice with. And so Miguel had managed to keep that map on him the entire time.
Yeah, because they do this whole elaborate fake fight.
So they take the horse and they go looking for El Dorado. Miguel
on
for...
the trail we blaze.
Right. So we have Elton John singing, which I have to be honest, throws me the hell off every single time his voice comes up.
It is weird. I think, 94 was when Lion King came out and Elton did Lion King music, and it works, but there's and I do like the songs, but the best song is the God song. I think
it would have worked better if they didn't have Elton John singing the entire thing. If they had him just sing the one song about the gods and everything else be maybe something a little bit more in the realm of a Spanish singer.
But like I said, the best song to me is the one that Miguel and Tulio sing, where Kevin Kline and Kenneth Branagh sing. And that's the best, to me, that's like the best scene.
But I think all the other songs
are
just
very hard.
Kind of like they just
do pull you out
wrong. And it's, I like Elton John. That's fine. That's not the issue. It's not a matter of liking them.
No.
I like Bruce Springsteen, but I don't think he should sing every song in every musical. Well,
that's like when if they did an animated version of the Children of Orisha books, which I love to pieces, and then they had a white person doing the music for it. These stories take place in Africa.
Yeah,
and this is African magic,
little weird,
and it would be weird.
And that's how that feels. So it does take me out of it. I would rather just have the music itself.
Yes.
At least then it's orchestral. You can kind of they throw in a few
Hans Zimmer. I was going to say Hans Zimmer did the music. He was part of that, choreography not choreography, composing. So,
you got it. You're going to get there eventually.
Guys, I'm out of it today. So yay. What's new? It's Thursday.
I'm not out of it. I'm just going to mess up.
It's not even a Thursday. It's a day ending in Y.
Sure. But yeah, they're trying to find El Dorado, and in doing so, they're kind of cementing their reasons why they're looking for this place. And those reasons are very personal to them, and we don't know their backstories. That's the thing.
No, you don't.
We don't know how they met. We don't know where they've been. We only know where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
What we get from them is they're good friends. They're also both rogues and very likely to turn on each other, but only for the moment in order to get out of something together.
Yes.
So they're very much of the Loki, Thor mythos if you go with MCU, in which they will throw each other at the enemy.
Yes, they will.
So, yeah, that's the kind of thing that they're doing. But you get the sense, you learn early on that Miguel is about the adventure. And personally, I think that's the more endearing. Miguel sees the people.
Mm-hmm.
He sees suffering. He sees joy. He sees the music. He feels the people that he's around. Is it bad that they're basically, they're playing gods, but they're tourists in another land, living off the people around them, lording it over them? Yes, it is bad.
Mm-hmm.
But Miguel sees the people and is trying to make it better using what privilege he has.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, at least, if not admirable, it is something.
Yes. Well, Tulio, unfortunately, is about all that bling, and he and Chell start to not only hook up, but plan how to leave.
Well, Chell is one of the people.
Mm-hmm.
She's there.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to escape with gold.
Yeah, because she wants to see things beyond.
Which is refreshing, honestly, because it's not just she's a good guy and, she's going to be, this damsel in distress or whatever.
No, she's tough.
Yeah, she's not one of those.
We meet Chell because she's running away with this little gold statue.
Right, and she's not necessarily for the people, trying to save her people. But she's also not against saving her people. She just wants to escape.
Yeah.
She wants to be out in the world.
She knows there's more than this provincial life.
She's kind of Tulio's Miguel.
She kind of is.
But she does have the desire to have money, like Tulio, so she's a little bit more aligned. And Tulio, yes, is very much about the money, but he does have feelings.
Oh, no, he doesn't like... So when they're going to sacrifice that guy to them, they were like, no, this is not... The stars are not aligned for this, because they played the role, but they were just like, Psycho Khan, you're a fucking psychopath, dude.
Well, yeah, he wants to sacrifice to the gods, and they go against that, causing him to believe that they are possibly not gods.
Yeah, that's when he starts to get that whole,
I would have thought it was the designer clothes.
I mean,
personally.
Yeah. And the fact that they didn't know a lot of things. And that's how Chell kind of convinces them to let her help.
As these two gods, who obviously speak Spanish and not English.
No, yeah, exactly.
They have converted everyone in their world to speak English, which I think is quite godlike.
Oh, very, very. But also extremely not cool.
Yeah,
Nobody has a Spanish accent. Nobody has... And there's, again, this is a problematic movie, but also at the same time diverse. But it's weird because it's not, but it is. And it's one of those dichotomies. And no, don't think it's going to get really high on the stitch count, because I can tell you right now, a few places it's going to fall flat on its fat face.
Well, we will see. But so Zeko Khan, who is played by Armand, or Armand.
Armand Asante.
Is the one person who is not fooled by these two.
Yes.
Instead of exposing the con that it is, though, he plays along and he weaponizes it for his own power grab.
Yes.
That is his thing, is he's going to attain power over the chieftain.
Well, and while he's suspicious, he has no proof until they play that ball game, and Tulio had accidentally elbowed Miguel when they were making that final shot.
Right.
And so Miguel has a little tiny bit of blood dripping down his eyebrow. And that's what got Jekyll Khan to go, hey, gods don't bleed.
Well, he just needed the proof, but he knew all along.
Yeah.
And he is kind of that, I don't know, he's the bad guy. He's your primary antagonist.
Yes.
In a lot of ways, though, you have to think, well, this actually is kind of his people. And while he's not a good guy, this is his people that he may not be protecting, but he's a part of.
So I have an issue, too, in the fact that they're willing to do a lot to get gold. Namely, Tulio's willing to do a lot to get gold. Why are they so upset with them throwing things to, quote-unquote, Xibalba? Because all you had to do was go down, follow that river, and you'd find it all, because it would have eventually come to shore.
Well, it's gold. It would just stay at the bottom.
Skim it?
No, I mean,
you don't know how deep it is?
It's just going to fall to the bottom and stay there.
Oh, well, I was excited thinking they could find all the gold.
I mean, they could eventually. They could just go in the river and get it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, though.
It's a lot of work.
Sure. But
yeah.
It is a chosen family film, and a lot of ones that we watch are. But it's tested by the temptation, not of riches, not just of riches. It is of riches because there's a lot of gold in El Dorado.
Yes.
But it's by the temptation of a life. Miguel's looking at a life away from Spain, of being in a place that offers adventure.
I don't think he's ever felt the need to settle. And here he decides, this is where he feels comfortable. And
yeah, but he wanted to do it with Tulio, and Tulio is tempted by not just Chell, but by the money that he can get, and he wants to go back to Spain.
Oh, yeah. For him, it's an ego thing, because think about it. If he gets all that gold, he goes back to Spain, he'll be the richest man. And that's where, when he says something about kings, and then Miguel goes, but why settle for kings when we were gods? Isn't that kind of a backpedal in a way? So, that's kind of his thing is like, well, my hinting I want to kind of stay here and play God for a little bit, even if I'm not playing God. And again, the people are so welcoming to them. I appreciate that to no end. But yeah, should they be there? No.
Well, and there's the cost of the lie of being a god. And it starts out small because they're just pretending. They didn't even really mean to pretend to do that. The volcano happened.
Oh, yeah, that was by accident. And the fact that they look like the big, whatever those things are called, the monolith that has the engravings on it, that happened to look like a man with a beard and another man with a pointy face who are riding a big fat horse.
Right.
And they just happen to be.
Yeah, it starts small and then it snowballs into a much bigger issue because they become part of the reason why they're going to be why the people are going to be tortured and killed, sacrificed.
Yes.
And that puts them at odds with the man who's been supporting them, even though he doesn't trust them at all.
Yeah, and see, Sekal Khan his main goal is to bring about this cleansing. A cleansing rain is going to wash it all away. What is that thing on the...
I mean, basically, it's kill everyone that could possibly deny him power.
How does that sound familiar? Yeah. But the thing, I think that excluding the Elton John songs, I think the worst part of this movie isn't the fact that Sekal Khan can summon a jaguar demon or god or whatever it was. It's the fact that he did.
I think of it as Jaguar Golem.
But it shouldn't have happened. Because, I feel like everything, yes, El Dorado being the mythical place that it is, I think that, yes, they got into El Dorado, but I feel like then there should not have been magic, though. I don't think he should have been able to do that. Because I think that makes him just having, this, not a believer, but I don't know. I just feel like it's an awkward and uncomfortable moment for me because I don't want him to have any magic or any ability.
Well, because it's presented as there are no gods and these two can play gods because there are no gods.
Oh, but wait a minute. We got a thingy.
But we have magic. So if we have magic, that means there must be gods in this instance.
Yeah. And then why didn't they come and stop,
But it could be said that they are representing those gods. And did exactly what they were supposed to do exactly what they did, which was prevent Cortez from gaining entrance.
So effectively sealing off El Dorado from any more white people.
Right. So essentially, they took the roles of those gods unknowingly.
I say white people, they're Spanish, so really not white people, but close,
Yeah.
Europeans.
Correct. And, that's that greed versus genuine connection that we were talking about. Miguel cares about the people, and it's what he was willing to give up was the gold.
Yes.
Tulio does too. He gives it up at the last minute, he gives it up to save the people.
And Miguel, because that's his best friend. So he's doing it for Miguel. He probably, I think his conscience would have been for the worst if he had not helped. But I don't know how much he would have helped. He might have I'm going to help, but I'm not going to go to that extent. But I
don't know, because he didn't aim that at Miguel. At the time they were fighting.
Yeah, but
I think he was willing, he was like, we're going to ram the boat into this. I don't think at that point he made the decision that it was going to be done.
That's true. That is true.
So I think giving him that grace that perhaps he was going to sacrifice for the people and not just Miguel, because he was fighting with Miguel, but he wasn't looking at Miguel when he made the decision.
That is true as well. And it's also, Miguel is his brother. Even if they're fighting, he's still his best friend and his brother.
Sure.
And you get the impression they have been through a lot and for a very long time, together.
Right. And it's kind of about belonging.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about found family, but really they give up an entire city.
Yeah, a whole village of people who were willing to welcome them in, even knowing that they weren't actually gods and that they were trying to take their gold.
Yeah, and then they find themselves, these three, as a family that are going to continue their adventures. They're just going to do it for different reasons, and that's okay.
I think so.
Too.
I think going forward, even if they go back to Spain or they don't, they're going to have their adventures, but they're going to be looking at the people more so than they were before, when it was more about greed.
I agree. I think that at the end, or throughout the movie, really, you see Cortez only a few times in the movie, but it's just enough to remind you
that he exists. Actually, you go through like almost the whole movie, once they get into El Dorado, and forget that Cortez was ever a part of the story.
Yeah, like maybe he went off doing something else. But no, you're reminded in this bright, funny movie of hijinks and everything else that there's this looming darkness headed this way.
Mm-hmm.
And not just that, but that quintessential bad guy is thwarted, so he goes and joins up with the other bad guy who is much worse than he is.
Yeah, Sekal Khan did not really appreciate what he was getting into. He thought he could use his knowledge to use basically Cortez to go after Tulio and Miguel, but he thought also that he would have some type of, edge there, some type of,
Well, he thought he would have some kind of control, but much like the Jaguar, he ultimately does not have control of the things he thinks he does.
He's just arrogant.
Very arrogant and very willing to sacrifice anyone for his cause.
Mm-hmm. And then Chell. Chell is definitely somebody who, I like Chell. She is one of my favorite female animated characters. And because she has no fucks to give. I love when she gives them the clothes for the big part, the banquet, and then they turn around, they're starting to take off their clothes, and they turn around, and she's sitting there on the pillow, and they're like, "Do you mind?" And she's like, "No." "Oh, you want me to leave?" So again, you're seeing a lot of adult things.
Oh yeah,
happening.
Chell's definitely she's like a femme fatale without actually hurting anyone.
Oh, definitely. She doesn't have the fatale, she's a femme me. Not like she's like me. I'm going to do this for me,
Oh yeah, it's very much a Roger Rabbit situation where you get a lot of acting.
Yeah.
And not a lot of doing. Yeah.
And
which works.
like you said, she got the thews.
She does have the mighty thews. She's got legs that will definitely hurt someone if she wants to.
Oh yeah, she got some curves. She's a little tiny but powerful thing.
And she's the only one dressed that way.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they're all dressed pretty.
Not her way.
Oh.
Hers is cut.
Oh, yeah. No.
Her manner of dress is cut very seductively.
Oh, no. She's definitely going to lose us some points on our stitch count. I love you, Chell, but no.
And then we have the armadillo character.
Yes. They make friends with an armadillo.
Named Bebo.
It is Bebo?
Yes.
I did not know that was his name.
Yeah, because it's a nod to the director, Bebo.
Nice. I like that. Nice.
Who plays the ball in the game.
But not the winning ball.
Not the winning ball.
Because they got switched.
And that's where Miguel gets hurt.
Yeah, because they were faking the game. They needed to win because apparently the gods created the game, so they had to win it. And I'm still not even sure what the rules are of this game. I've seen this movie so many times. You can play off the wall. You can't play off the wall. I don't know. Regardless, it's a tiny little hoop on the very top of very, very high up. And that armadillo makes all the shots until the end.
Right.
When the horse gets involved.
But one of the things I think that works with the dynamics of the two, of Tulio and Miguel, is that Kevin and Kenneth recorded at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of recording in separate moments or even in completely different buildings.
No, and you can tell by when they're talking and one of them is talking in the background. I think it's when they're talking to, I think the other con man or one of the soldiers when they're still in Spain, and one of them is talking, and the other one's like, yes, no, he said, this, they're.
Yeah.
It's definitely, you can tell they're in the same place because they're feeding off of each other, which you don't get when people have to record separately.
Right, and I think that lends itself to a very natural flow of their con style, which is, they play off of each other very well, even when they're mad at each other.
Oh, yeah.
They just kind of fall into the rhythm of things.
You're right. There's a flow that is definitely, you get the feeling of them being friends and how they do feed off of each other and they do work together. And it just... It lends to that longevity.
Yeah, and
familiar.
Chell's clothing that we talked about, it was originally designed to be much more revealing.
Yeah.
And if you can believe it. It is crazy. They redesigned her to be PG, and it is barely PG.
Mm-hmm.
Only barely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just half a meter of a crop top away from just being...
I mean, the most
horrifying.
material is her loincloth piece that goes all the way to her, her ankles, but that's just through the middle and covers her butt, barely.
I know.
Because them thews is showing.
And when you said at the first of the movie, you're like, yeah, it's not really a children's movie. And I couldn't really remember why until Chell shows up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
well, that I knew. That because there are some scenes with her and Tulio where you're like, is she giving him head?
I know. It gets kind of, yeah. I mean, that's perfectly fine unless you have kids and you accidentally watch this thinking it's going to be clean.
Or your kids have questions.
Is PG.
It is. I mean, if your kids don't know, they aren't going to know.
But there's a lot of innuendo.
Yes. It's tough to be a god. That's the name of the song. I could not think of the name before.
Okay.
It had to pop into my head. But yeah, they... that too, there's alcohol and maybe drug use. I don't know. They get pretty wonky, and during that banquet in the beginning, and then they are hung over so that way when they have to go do the sacrifice, they're woken up by Chell, and they're like, oh shit, we have to go do this thing. But we're actually able to clear their heads enough to stop it from actually being a human sacrifice.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Okay. And then I think with the chief, Tenabuk, or Tenabak.
I didn't write down the chief. I just wrote chief.
He is just a very loving person, but also a little bit like doty.
Yeah.
Little bit lost in what's happening until you realize he's very savvy and just doesn't care that much.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, I was half expecting the first time I saw this movie for it to come out that Chell is his daughter.
I kind of thought that, but that's always the way it goes. And a lot of the things like Atlantis,
Well, she is the princess in Atlantis. Kida is the princess. So it's like, that makes sense. But you kind of expect that
well, that's what I thought this was going to be too, was Chell was secretly a princess the whole time. I can't
wait to do Atlantis because woohoo, I love that movie too. So now it's time for the stitch count. We are going to look through our 3 different angles and criteria and decide whether this movie is a growing and glowing Afghan or if it's just a rag that got washed up on the shore.
Wow, you did tie it in.
I tied it in this time.
I was surprised.
Improv on drugs. No, I'm not on drugs. I haven't taken them yet.
Let's start with the Castellini test. Yes. This is going to tell us if there's feminism in this film. There have to be at least 2 named women characters with at least 5 lines of dialogue each.
There is not.
So the Castellini test fails.
Yep, just right there. Boom.
Not good. It can't pass the first one, so it can't pass the rest.
Yeah, it's just Chell.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's just Chell.
That is correct. Inclusivity and gaze. Now, this is a score from 0 to 1, so it's either on or off, and it's a max of 4 points. Racial diversity with agency, not just background.
I want to say yes.
Yes.
Because it does have,
There's not a white guy in this. Well, I mean, there's white actors. I'm talking about the characters.
The characters, yeah, because, the Spaniards are not exactly white people, and they're just European.
Sure. LGBTQ presence that isn't a punchline or tragedy.
So I want to believe that Miguel and Tulio are in the same relationship as April Ludgate in Parks and Rec. One has, her boyfriend's boyfriend. Right. So Chell would be April and it would be my boyfriend's boyfriend. So I want to feel like that's the situation, but it's probably not.
No, it's not. This is a case of they just don't have toxic masculinity. So
they really don't.
It presents like they could be gay. We really don't know where Miguel stands.
Yeah, but
and we don't really know where anybody stands because just because they're attracted to someone doesn't mean they're not attracted to other people.
But we don't have any definitives. We can only have suppositions.
So that'll get a 0.
Yep.
Age, body type, or disability treated with dignity.
I'm going to say yes, because nobody says anything about anybody's body type. Even Chell's scantily clad, but nobody's talking about that. And the chief's a big rotund gentleman, and that man walks all the way up those stairs and does not even lose his breath, where Miguel and Tulio are dying after walking up those stairs. So yeah, I'm going to give him a point for that.
Okay. Camera gaze, not relentlessly sexualized or punitive.
Sometimes.
Did you feel that the camera focused on certain parts?
No. So if I'm thinking if you're going by the fact that they're titillized by her Tulio is, and she's titillized by both of them getting naked, it's not again, we see their bare asses at one point.
But that's not the camera doing
Yeah, you're right. Because when they were jumping into the lake with the little bumbling thing with the horse, we got some booty shots and cartoon booties. So, we can give them the point. So that's 3 points for inclusivity and gaze.
All right. And now let's go to the Tremors Index, which is 0 for below Tremors, fails the basics, up to 4 exceeds Tremors, rare, powerful, and intentional.
I know what I'm going to pick already.
What's that?
3. Gold standard.
Wow. Okay. I think I can see why you're doing that. Let's talk it out.
Okay.
Competence is distributed across gender, age, class, and personality.
Yes. So there's nobody comments about, bad things about anybody being a certain age or a certain gender or anything like that. They are all if you're competent, you're competent. There's no, well, you're a woman. They didn't do any of that. Okay. Though they could have, because again, they were 1500s Europeans.
Women make critical decisions without comment or apology.
Chell never makes an apology. She wants to leave. She stole that gold icon. Does she lie?
Does she make critical decisions?
Well, I mean, in the beginning she did because she decided to help them. She could have told on them, but she knew that they would be able to help her get out. That's a critical decision. I can either protect my ass or I can utilize them to get what I want.
Okay. The narrative assumes equality and moves on.
I think it does. If you're going to look at the female and male, they don't.
And not just female and male.
No.
We're also talking about
race, and So I honestly think that it does not, because I think that Miguel and Tulio do not look at the people of El Dorado as any less. They don't care. They're not there for, to conquer the people, where like Cortez does. But we know that that's a historical fact. That's not something that's created for the story. It's a historical fact that Cortez saw people below him. But Miguel and Tulio are Spaniards, and you would think that they would hold that same belief system, but they don't. They don't look at the people of El Dorado as below them. They're all the same, regardless.
Okay.
So I think that one holds standard.
Survival requires cooperation, not dominance.
And that's true. For them to survive and get out of El Dorado and protect El Dorado, they gave up the ship, they gave up the gold, and they did it together.
All right. So Tremors level. It's a gold standard.
I feel like it is a gold standard. So that gives us a count of 6 out of 9.
We have a 6 out of 9 Stitch count, and it didn't even pass feminism.
Nope.
That's crazy.
But
weird things happen all the time.
But excluding the Castellini test, I do feel it is a feminist movie. And here's why. Because femininity is about equity and not about being like one gender being better than another gender.
Except if that gender isn't represented anywhere near equally.
Oh, no. And sure. I get that. It's not represented. But Chell is not any less than Miguel and Tulio. She doesn't hold herself at any less, and they don't treat her as any less than the others.
Sure.
She's just as equal as the chief, as they, as the other people in the town or in the city. The only one they treat differently, really, is Sekil Khan, and that's because he's a piece of shit.
Well, he treats everybody else badly.
Yeah. So, comes around, goes around.
Yep.
So I think there is a bit of femininity in it when it comes to, not femininity, but feminism in it when it comes to the fact that there is a lot
Maybe to Chell. There's...
Yeah, I mean, but like I like to think that Miguel and Tulio are feminists because they are not toxic masculine. They aren't being, I have a dick and I am going to conquer. They don't have that where you have that with Cortez. Because again, history. Even the chief, he's just kind of like, hey, live and let live. We're all just look, I've got it, so I'm going to share it with my dude, Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not saying that it's a good feminist movie, but I feel like it does have feminist qualities that are beyond just the lack of representation.
Okay.
Because you can be feminist and be, male. Look at that. But yeah, I think that it's pretty good. I think 6 out of 9 isn't bad for an animated film.
I mean, especially one that really is just Spain and then El Dorado.
Yeah. Which is in, I had to look it up. It is in what it would be considered modern day Colombia.
Sure. Mm-hmm. But it's just Spain, El Dorado. There's not really an in-between other than boat and water. There's not a whole lot of travel.
No.
There's not a whole lot of anything.
No.
And there isn't a whole lot of things that happen.
No.
This is about people meeting people.
Mm-hmm.
And that can seem like a lot when you're watching it. But when you break it down, what actually happened?
Not much.
It's a very short film.
Yeah, hour and a half.
In that sense.
Yeah.
So they packed a lot into it, is what I'm saying.
Definitely.
So how do you feel now? Has anything changed for you?
Okay, as the person that I am now, knowing that I think that it does lack in diversity. And I mean, we have an Italian man playing, I'm not even sure what Zekel Khan is. What is he? A priestess? A priester? Priester?
Priest.
A priester. What the hell is that? He's a priester.
It's like a skater.
Yeah,
He's a skater boy.
He's a priester
He's a
boy.
priester boy.
So, Zekel Khan is a El Doradoan priest, and yet it's played by an Italian man. So, it's a little weird, but...
Especially because El Dorado is a Spanish name.
Yeah, so there we go. Not Italian. And, yeah. So
and not Colombian.
Not Colombian.
Or Aztecian.
Aztecian or Incan. No, they're
Incan.
Muisca. I said this in the beginning. It's the Muisca.
Muisca?
Yeah, something like that. And I'm probably saying it wrong. And that was with the phonetic pronunciation, and I'm pretty sure I still did it wrong. That was the tribe of people who believed in where the El Dorado thing came from. I still love this movie, and I'd still watch it again if it came on, and again and again. I don't get tired of it. The music, again, I love Elton, but I don't really care about most of the music. It's the camaraderie and the relationship between Miguel and Tulio, and it's just I don't know. To me, it's a sweet little movie, even if it is about colonialism.
How does it make you feel now?
Makes me feel happy to watch.
Okay. Good.
It was very hard for me to focus on it because of how I'm feeling right now, but I was still there, I was still there mostly. How does it make you feel?
I think I'm still a little bit ambivalent about it. I'm not as excited about it as you are. I don't dislike it. The music takes me out, and I get stuck on a lot of the colonial takeover issues, but that is part of the story. And I think that it really does kind of erase a lot of the suffering of the people because Cortez just goes off another way and probably kills a lot more people along the way.
Yeah, well, Zekel Khan being one of the people that he probably kills.
Sure, but he gets his, but then a whole lot of people get theirs
that didn't deserve it.
He didn't get stopped in the film.
No.
He continues on while they continue doing their thing.
Yeah, all they did was protect El Dorado.
One city.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there are things that stick to me. That's only because of I have a real sense of justice that doesn't border on rational sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's okay. I'm fine with being irrational towards that. Mm-hmm. But I do think it's a fun film. It's not one I go seeking out. And it makes me feel a little bit angry that type of thing exists, the colonialism, that my people were ever a part of it, and that kind of thing. So, yeah, there's problems with it sometimes.
Oh, no, there's definitely problems with it.
It has to be there because it is part of history. At least in this sense, you get some of that with the mythical part of this.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the giant jaguar. I don't think magic should have been a part of it.
No.
But I do like that it was there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's okay that it was there. It didn't break anything. One of the things I would have liked to have seen is not the two white guys, but maybe Chell to have magic to fight back.
That would have been cool.
Because maybe the gods give that extra thing instead of the two great white heroes.
Yeah,
and I know
that would have
Spanish,
been nice. Yeah, but I know what you mean.
But in this case,
there's a blonde and green-eyed person and a blue-eyed, brown-haired person.
So they are representative of the great white heroes.
They are.
So yeah, not thrilled about that part, but that's okay. So thanks for visiting with us for the Road to El Dorado 2000. That's Cozy Quilt Cinema. I'm Beth. That's Michelle. And thanks for being in the blanket fort. If this episode stirred something up, come tell us about it at cozyquiltcinema.com. There you can find us on Instagram and Blue Sky. You can find our episodes. You can find our blog, The Blanket Fort. If you're new here, stick around and subscribe. And if you're already one of us, a rating helps more than you know. We can't wait to see you right here in the Blanket Fort next week.
The horse was a surprise.
Bump. Bye.
Bye.
Is it really fit for the gods?
My lord.
I have been around boats, believe me. And that, the pointy, tall, the long up and down thing.
The mast?
The mast, yes, mast is good. Well, look at it. I mean, there's not nearly enough, rope
Rope?
Yes, rope, exactly my point.